All right, now we get to watch Anderson Cooper talk about Trump supporters supposedly flipping the bird at CNN or whatever they're calling this video. I think it's when they shove him the middle finger. So, see what it's about.
If today's attempt at downplaying the president's Russia tweet veered into the comical at times, this next issue has not. It is flat out disturbing. It happened at
It's flat out disturbing.
a Trump rally yesterday, and it was something the president encouraged people to do, as he often does, something he's repeatedly encouraged people to do. And I'm going to show you the video in a moment, but what you are going to see are otherwise respectable people, fellow citizens, fellow Americans, people you'd say hello to on the street, shouting profanities, making obscene gestures, and
You notice how they're trying to make this like, oh, it's people you know, it's people around you, it's everyone. They're out there. They're everywhere. It's monsters, they're everywhere. Shouting profanities and obscenities, like, yeah, normal people do that all the fucking time.
their rage on members of the press covering last night's Trump rally in Tampa. Take a look.
They do suck.
So it gets worse, as you'll see in a moment. One of the things that's alarming about this, besides the very real potential that this kind of anger can easily lead to violence.
Oh my god, they're all saying that. Fuck, it doesn't lead to violence, you fucking hysterical morons. And you literally just said Trump encourages and incites this. He doesn't encourage people to say CNN sucks. They say CNN encourages that by being sucky, okay? Trump calls them fake news and all that, and that's because they are.
Is that instead of taking steps to tamp down the anger, curtail the protesters, even just admonish them.
Why should he? Okay? They're saying something that he not only agrees with, but that he's right on. CNN does suck, okay? They lie, misrepresent, take things out of context, spread fake news, and are constantly negative to Trump, and CNN acts like they're objective. He has every right to give them shit back. He has the free speech to it, and so do they. Get fucked and stop complaining about it. But you had the right to complain about it. I had the right to tell you that you're being a baby by complaining about it.
The President of the United States has encouraged them. He even retweeted some of the video.
Oh, again, retweets encourage endorsements. No, they fucking don't. And he retweeted after the fucking rally, I believe. So stop lying.
Out to his millions of followers. And if you think anyone in the White House has the courage or the conviction to criticize what the president is encouraging, you would be mistaken. Sarah Sanders generically condemning violence, something that, of course, did not happen last night.
Yeah, it did. Isn't that amazing? Because Trump supporters don't cause violence and don't, hit people over the head with bike locks, and they don't burn campuses to the ground when there's a speaker they don't like, and they don't harass administration officials. It's funny how they don't do that.
But saying nothing about what did actually happen.
Which was nothing.
The president condemns and denounces any group that would incite violence against another individual.
As he should. All political violence is bad and is wrong.
And certainly doesn't support groups that would promote that type of behavior.
So she was trying to steer the conversations toward far-right conspiracy theory groups like
I don't know that's what she was doing, but okay.
QAnon, which we'll talk about more. And even then, as you'll see, she lumped them together with the press, suggesting there's some kind of equivalence between the two.
You are the guys who have been pushing the Russia conspiracy for the past fucking 2 years. Don't act like you guys don't push conspiracies. And might I also add, Don Lemon also said that the missing plane, I forget the flight number, had gone into a black hole. He thought that as a reasonable theory. So stop acting objective. Stop acting like you guys are in the right here.
In fact, there was another reporter in the briefing pointed out that's not the issue. At issue, or at least not for now, it's not the issue. The issue at hand is the kind of open display of rage last night that the president is encouraging in rallies and on Twitter. Now here's...
It's a justified rage, though, and they're allowed to be angry. They should be angry because you people are not being held accountable. It doesn't mean anybody should be violent towards the press. It doesn't mean the press should be harassed. But people calling you fake news and saying you suck is perfectly allowable, perfectly fine. You guys just don't like it.
Some of the video that CNN's Jim Acosta put up on Instagram, I want to play it through a couple of times. First as the camera saw it, then with portions highlighted, so you just get a better idea of what Jim and other reporters were surrounded by last night in Tampa while simply doing their constitutionally protected job.
Oh, now you fucks give a shit about the constitutional protections. Yeah, what about the Constitution protected rights of those people to call you guys out and to say you suck? They're allowed to fucking do that. Stop acting like the victim. Yes, what that guy said. Stop lying. I don't know what that second part he said. Kill the truth? I don't really understand that.
So that's what it sounded like. Now I just
Good Rolling Stones song. That is what it sounded like. It's pretty good.
want to play it again with certain things highlighted because it's easy to lose it in the crowd. It starts with a man shouting "F the media," and again, everyone you see here, there could be your neighbor, they could teach your kids science, they could be in your carpool.
Oh my god. Stop it with this. There's this boogeyman around the corner that's in your neighbor's house. These people aren't bad people. They're just angry because you people are awful. You, the press, are the awful people. You're doing a disservice to the country. You know, there is a responsibility as a journalist to be truthful and honest. You're allowed to lie to an extent, you know, because then you get into libel and slander and all that. But you're basically allowed to print half-truths or lies. But you shouldn't. And you guys do print half-truths and lies, and you're okay with that. And nobody's held accountable, except maybe a few people lose their jobs or one story. But you guys lie all the time, and you get away with it. And when people call you out and say you suck, or that you're, you know, whatever, you just can't handle it.
Be saying prayers next to you in church. But at these rallies, that potential churchgoer might be raising the middle finger.
Oh, you're trying to call the churchgoers hypocritical. Ooh, Anderson, you don't want to go down that territory.
As another man does, stop lying, stop.
I bet you go to church every day, Anderson. I bet you go to church every Sunday, pray to God, say how great you are, blah, blah, blah. How, oh, I never lie, thou shalt not lie, thou shalt not do any of these things, and you lie a fuck ton. So you don't have the moral high ground here.
Lying into the camera. That guy. Now, there's another lady who first raises one middle finger. This lady right here is very charming.
Very charming. Good compliment, Anderson.
Then she raises both fingers, shouting, "You suck, you suck."
You do.
You're
Specifically Jim Acosta. He's a fucking shill. He's the worst of the worst. He's not a journalist. He's an activist.
only seeing less than a minute of it, but this kind of thing went on a whole lot longer. And again, the president saw fit to encourage it on Twitter. And again,
God, he's not encouraging it, Anderson. He's laughing at it. I mean, I'm not trying to mind read the president here because you really can't know what he's thinking, but you always assume that a retweet means endorsement. You are always assuming that, even though it sometimes doesn't.
Sanders did not see fit to just condemn it simply and without reservation.
The president, as I just said, does not support violence against anyone or anything, and we've been very clear every single time we've been asked about that. When it comes to the media, the president does think that the media holds a responsibility. We fully support a free press, but there also comes a high level of responsibility with that. The media routinely reports on classified information and government secrets that put lives in danger and risk valuable national security tools.
While condemning WikiLeaks and thinking Julian Assange is a traitor and should be thrown in jail. I know she's not going to say that, but we got to keep that in mind. The press hates Julian Assange because he is a competitor. And when he just publishes classified info or publishes stolen documents, they lose their shit and say how awful he is, how he's a traitor. But when they do, it's okay. And he's probably going to get, he's losing his asylum status soon. So I bet the press is going to be jumping, and taking bullets in, for his defense. But it's going to set a precedent, which the press is going to be under. But so far, she couldn't have said it better, except for the thing I had. But she couldn't have said it better.
This has happened both in our administration and in past administrations. One of the worst cases was the reporting on the U.S. ability to listen to Osama bin Laden's satellite phone in the late 90s. Because of that reporting, he stopped using that phone and the country lost valuable intelligence.
See, that's a tricky one for me because I think WikiLeaks is pretty justified in what they do since the press doesn't do their job. Does it make what they do right? The press is allowed to do it, so I guess he's allowed to do it. But should any media outlet be allowed to publish classified information? That's kind of debatable, I'm not going to lie.
So as for the last part of what you just said there, the bit about reporting accurately and fairly, yes, certainly people in the media get things wrong. I've gotten things wrong.
They get things wrong. Yeah, but you guys act like you're fucking objective and that you never get things wrong. I know he's saying it right here and admitting it, but this is like the only time he's done that.
Not often, but we do. And when that happens, we correct it. Sometimes.
No, you fucking don't. This is where the bullshit comes in. You don't always correct it. Their corrections are like buried on, the bottom of the page. You don't always correct it. And if you do, it's not blatant. And you don't fire journalists for, fireable offenses, really. There is no accountability. And you get away with it all the time.
Within seconds or minutes, as fast as we can.
Sure.
The same cannot be said of Sarah Sanders or the president or others in the White House. Keeping them honest, though the example Sarah Sanders mentioned there about Osama bin Laden and the phone, that's actually not true. The Washington Post...
Is it? I honestly don't know. It's the first time I've heard about this, but I'm not going to take CNN's word for it.
Fact checkers ran it all down 13 years ago. By the time the story Sarah Sanders was apparently referring to ran in September of 1998, bin Laden had apparently already stopped using his satellite phone. In fact, CNN's Peter Bergen, who's reported extensively on this, as early as 1997, met with bin Laden. Bin Laden's men were already concerned about electronic surveillance back by 1997. Quoting the Post headline now, file the bin Laden phone leak under urban myths. Now, we'll see if Sarah Sanders corrects herself in a few minutes or a few hours or a few days or whenever she may have a next press conference. I doubt it. We'll see.
Oh, man. It's funny seeing CNN try to take the moral high ground here in terms of corrections and not lie. Like, Jesus Christ. You guys say fake stuff all the time, but you never, ever come out publicly on the front page and, correct yourselves. You don't.
She holds herself to the same standard that we hold ourselves to. Joining us now is CNN senior political analyst David Gergen. I always try to use the example if the president was a Democrat and you had a Democratic president encouraging people at rallies to scream at reporters,
yes,
reporters would be outraged about it.
No, they wouldn't be.
If they were screaming at Fox News, get off the air, and when anybody does that, that's abhorrent.
Oh my God. I wish that were true, Anderson, but it isn't. Okay? People were shitting on Fox News all the time, calling them Fox News, F-A-U-X and then news. That's basically the same way as saying fake news, okay? People were saying that before, but you were not jumping and taking the bullet for them and saying, we should defend Fox News. You fucking weren't. Stop it.
Yeah, I agree. But there are some reporters of other networks who are coming to the defense of CNN on this, and Jim Acosta in particular.
I'm sorry, I couldn't come to the defense of Jim Acosta over pretty much anything. I'm sorry. They either have balls or they're being really stupid.
The publisher of the New York Times went to see the president recently, and he made the point in which I think is exactly right. The whole charge is about fake news. It's very, very disturbing. But the serious issue is when the president starts calling the press enemies of the people.
Right.
That's an old phrase, comes out of a Stalinist background.
Oh, we want to compare him to Stalin now. Hitler analogies just weren't good enough.
And it really makes them sort of traitors to the country. And there were some hints of reporters being called traitors last.
You could argue they are. I'm not going to argue that, but you could argue that they're not. Actually, you know, I don't even know if you'd say they're traitorous. That's not the word I'd use. They're just not they're not being responsible, okay? I mean, it's not traitor, it's just they're not being responsible. Um, and there are people trying to hold them accountable and call them out and insult them. And you guys just don't like it. I've said it before, you just don't like it.
And if you put that together, the enemies of the people together, along with a rally, which has a mob quality to it, and then along with a culture of gun violence.
Oh man, yeah, they're gonna just start shooting journalists. You fucking loon. Again, I've said this before. You guys never called out Maxine Waters for calling for harassment Trump supporters, saying, "Oh, this could lead to violence." That was a-okay. You know, there's nothing to see here. You guys never called out the Antifa violence that have been happening for months. You guys were never outraged over any of those things. But this is the outrage over people calling CNN sucks and, oh, these people have guns. We should be scared. I've never seen an incident of, a Trump supporter shooting a reporter, and there's never gonna be. Stop being silly. Do you? I'll tell you guys a personal story here. When I was out campaigning for Trump, I knocked on somebody's door, and a guy opened. Well, I didn't knock on their door. I'm being too metaphoric there, but I was door knocking, is what the campaign term is. And I came up to one guy. I was walking up his driveway, and he was in his garage cutting up wood. And I saw a Prius there in his driveway. I was like, this guy's probably gonna be a liberal, but who knows? He's cutting wood. Might be a manly man, like a Tim the Toolman Taylor or Al Roker here, like cutting up and building stuff with his hands. And I walk up there, and the guy sees me, and I didn't have a mag hat on. I was just in normal clothes. And I was holding some flyers, and he looks at me like just wide-eyed, and he goes, "Those better not be Trump flyers." And I was like, they are. I'm sorry. And I'm about to walk away, and then this guy just angrily yells at me. He says, "Oh, yeah, well, I better get my fucking gun and shoot you, you fucking asshole." And I was just like, Jesus Christ, this guy's I'm scared. Like, I was one of the scariest moments of my life. It really was scary. Like, I was getting pretty scared. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna act like I was some tough guy right there. Like, I was freaking scared. I know what this fucking guy was gonna do. I was like, "Sorry, have a nice day, sir." I started to walk away really quickly. This guy was fucking scary. Like, the anger in his eyes. This is a liberal, a warm, loving, tolerant liberal that just loves everybody. It's for diversity and just loves everything. And he was fucking angry. He wasn't one of those gun-toting Republicans. Uh, and then one of my friends, he was shouting at. He goes, "You packing? You packing?" My friend doesn't know what he's saying. He goes, "What? What?" He goes, "You packing?" Packing, guns, heat, as they say. And my friend just started running away with me. I mean, it was just terrifying. I mean, running, we were just walking away, and we called 911. But oh my god, like this. I know it's anecdotal, but my point is that you will experience in your life, and if you look at the statistics, leftists are more violent than right wingers. It's a problem with the left. I'm sorry, it just is.
That's a very combustible mix.
Well, also, Sarah Sanders then, talking about enemies of the people, traitor.
And this fucking moron doesn't realize that these people can't bring guns in here because the fucking Secret Service pats down all these people and checks off them. So he's being, again, an idiot.
She's talking about revealing classified information.
Oh, and I would like to mention also that the only violence with guns at Trump rallies was when one guy tried to shoot Trump. It was a radical leftist that tried to take a cop's gun and shoot Trump. That's the only scary moments at Trump rallies where people trying to kill Trump. There was another instance where a guy jumped over the barricade and tried to run up the stage, and Secret Service took that guy out and handled him. And there was another instance where the Secret Service had to rush Trump off the stage because somebody thought that there was a gun. Like, the only scary moments at Trump rallies have been when leftists show up and incite violence or act like fucking morons. Okay?
There are so many examples of reporters holding back on reporting things at the request of intelligence agencies so that sources and methods are protected or lives are not endangered or operation actually put in risk.
I've been involved in many occasions when the head of the CIA or someone, they say the Secretary of Defense or the President himself might call a publisher and say, would you please withhold this?
Right.
And because here's what's at stake. When we had our hostages in Iran, for those 400 and plus days, no leaks. They were protected the whole time by press who knew they were in there, but didn't want to endanger their lives. So we have a president, when he comes in, takes an oath to protect the constitutional rights of all Americans.
And he is.
What this president and this White House seem to not to accept is that that's their responsibility.
And what's also funny is I don't remember these people being outraged when Obama was wiretapping journalists. Didn't see the outrage that when he wiretapped Cheryl Atkinson, when he wiretapped James Rosen at Fox News. Don't remember your outrage or cries that this is infringing the freedom of the press. I think Obama jailed more journalists than most presidents. Definitely more than Trump. I don't think Trump's jailed a single one. So again, selective outrage.
At these rallies, to ensure that a free press can exercise the day-to-day.
It's also
And they can. Stop acting silly.
Work
because the president has spoken about the importance of the Second Amendment
Right.
many times. You expect the president, and again, I know Donald Trump is a rule breaker, and that's why he got elected, and
No shit.
people want to see things shaken up. But you do expect the president to defend the Constitution of the United States
And he fucking is.
and to explain the intricacies of the Constitution.
Oh my god, he doesn't have to be a history teacher. Jesus. What is this, civics class?
The sometimes
Right.
uncomfortable difficulties that the Constitution, enforces on the country, and that
We understand that, Anderson. It's you people that don't. You are the people that think hate speech should be banned, even though it's 100% protected under the First Amendment. Just, the double standard is blatant.
it's not something this president has done or really seems willing.
Did Obama do it? Did Bush do it? Did Clinton do it? This isn't some fucking responsibility the president has hold to fucking explain the Constitution. Again, this isn't fucking civics class. Jesus.
to do in any way.
I'm afraid not. I mean, it's as if he's read parts of the Constitution, like the
Oh my god, like you read the whole Constitution, like word for word. God. What do you think he's got to be? Like some sort of like angel? He's not an angel. He knows that. But he is protecting the Constitution. He's a Republican. He's more constitutionalist than anybody on the left.
Second Amendment, but is not terribly familiar with the history of other parts of it, like the First Amendment.
Oh my god, he hasn't restricted any press freedom. Stop. He's more pro-free speech than any president. Jesus Christ.
But I will tell you this, Anderson. What we saw last night is what we saw frequently in Sarah Palin rallies way back when, and
Oh, did we?
early part of it. And John McCain, who was her running mate and the presidential nominee, went to those rallies and said, "Stop it."
And he fucking lost. He was a fucking cuck. I don't know the context of what he's talking about the Sarah Palin thing. I don't remember any really crazy things being said. Like I was very young at that time, but you're comparing two situations, and two situations are never alike. I was bringing up the John McCain laws just by to be facetious, but you don't you guys just don't get it.
Let's end this. That's the president's responsibility. And unless he stops this soon, I will tell you, if there is
Why does he need to stop it? Okay? How about Maxine Waters stop encouraging harassment at Trump supporters? Where's the outrage at that? She's not doing that.
violence against any reporter that's tied to this, the blood is going to be on his hands.
Oh my god. Okay.
It seems, one doesn't want to predict anything, but
You guys are. It's literally what you spend your whole day trying to do, and you fucking suck at it.
I mean, the idea of violence occurring, somebody who's disturbed, being motivated by this, rightly or wrongly, in their, certainly in their mind, they would be right. But
Right.
even if it's not what the president said,
Right.
just this kind of a mob atmosphere, violence.
Here we go again. You don't even have to say it to be responsible for it. Like, in other words, no matter what Trump says, he's responsible.
It doesn't take much.
It doesn't take much, and now we've got this
Guys, it's not going to lead to violence. Stop being hysterical.
new element of the QAnon, and
Right,
you're
yeah,
gonna-
we're reporting
We're
on
gonna be
tonight as well, which there are a
discussing.
lot of people, not a lot, but a number of people there last night with shirt saying Q, with
Right,
Q
and
on it.
it's strange, but there are a lot of conspiracy theorists there.
Right.
Conspiracy theorists are known to act on them.
Yeah.
Dude, that's like freak fringe people. Like, this isn't like, you can't control those people's actions. You really can't. They're gonna do crazy shit no matter what. They're gonna chase it out and find conspiracies no matter what. There's always gonna be conspiracies. You really can't control that. So stop it. And Trump's not pushing conspiracies.
And sometimes use violence as in the pizzeria
Yeah.
situation.
David Gergen, appreciate it.
Pizzeria. Does he want to say Pizzagate? Oh God, you fucking cuck. Jesus, man. Oh my God, come on, people, we can do better. We can do better. Yeah, no, it's not the single most hilarious thing. Again, they're not saying anything that's scary. Tell the truth. Oh my God, it's encouraging violence right there. Oh my God. Yep, this is what I've been saying. Yep, that guy gets it. Crybabies. They can't handle it. They can throw shit one way, but it can't come back at them. They can't handle it. For them, it's a one-way street. No different from Klan rally. Jesus Christ, stop it. There's literally black people at the Trump rally and Hispanic people and Asian people. This is not a Klan rally. So they're doing a pretty piss poor job at it. See if there's anything else interesting here. Yeah, now, like I did say, like CNN and all these other media outlets did start this, war against the media, but that doesn't, again, that doesn't mean they are responsible for this violence. Again, everybody's responsible for their own actions. Beta male Anderson Cooper, you liar. All world knows that CNN is fake news. I am from Europe and know how fake you are. Right on. Yeah, people have a right to express themselves public and peaceful manner. Well, even in a angry manner, they're allowed to do it. Yeah, this is again, it's all about ratings. Like, people forget that CNN hypes shit up and sensationalizes shit because of ratings. It keeps you watching, and they know what they're doing. It is a waste of time. That's why I watch these videos for people and debunk them and make fun of them bit by bit and give some people some entertainment. I mean, CNN's the best comedy channel on TV. It really is. I'm just, showing people the beauty of it. Oh man, yeah, looks like the spicy comments probably got shadow banned or pushed down. Funny when Jim Acosta yells at Trump from the other world leaders. That's okay. Yeah, good point. It's okay for Jim Acosta to start heckling. Oh, he's just asking a question in a loud manner. Here's some poop. I always like reading the comments after these videos. But yeah, that's Anderson Cooper once again showing for CNN, which I expect them to do, but it just keeps getting worse. These people are babies, really babies. So grow up here, CNN. You could use it.